Welcome to the Mr. Showtime Showcast. I actually meant to do this video yesterday before the New Zealand versus France or France versus New Zealand match started. The last time I did a rugby video is when I was doing like a Rugby World Cup send-off for the Springboks. And yeah, now that the World Cup has begun, I actually have some interesting thoughts on my mind I'd like to share with you. First of all, look, I just got done watching the France versus New Zealand game. Listen, the All Blacks are not looking stable. First, the Springboks, dismantled them in Twickenham, with the biggest record defeat ever. And now they've succumbed to the very first Rugby World Cup group stage loss. Out of 31 consecutive Rugby World Cup group stage matches, this is their first. And France takes that honor to be the first one to defeat them in a Rugby World Cup group stages. Now, Mr. Showtime declares most likely that the All Blacks will not make it past the group stages. Now, at this point, to me, it's kind of like a 50-50 because aside from France, the other teams that they have in their pool are weak teams, so they may still sneak by and make it to the quarterfinals. However, now that France has, drew first blood on the All Blacks, the other teams are going to be like, I smell blood in the water. They smell blood in the water. The other teams are now motivated to, have their chunk, their bites out of defeating the All Blacks. Italy will definitely be looking to try their luck. Yes, granted, Italy is going to have to be immensely lucky to pull off an upset against the All Blacks. Still highly unlikely, realistically speaking. But understand this. Every time the All Blacks, they concede a yellow card, that's like an opening. Just like in boxing, it's an opening for them to just throw that mean right knockout punch. All they have to do really is just, revert to the scrum whenever they get a penalty. Revert to the scrum and sort of like disrupt and force the All Blacks to panic, because now if they lose a forward, if one of the forward players gets a yellow card, now they have to reshuffle, they have to bring in substitutions, or they have to bring in a backline player to participate in the scrum. That's an overlap in the backline. So all that team has to do really is just win the scrum and just swing ball out wide, man on man. And guess what? Likely with the wingers far out wide, there's going to be an overlap. That's how they can capitalize and actually score a try. 10 minutes. As a South African, I would love to see the All Blacks get knocked out. Because, the Springboks and the All Blacks, if one of those teams goes out, between the two of us, between South Africa and the All Blacks, if one of us goes out, it's always between the two of us. So if one of us goes out, the other one has no excuse not to win the Rugby World Cup going forward. It's a layup. It's an opening. Now, with that being said, if I had to put some respect on the other teams, France and Ireland have been, working very hard, and they are looking threatening. I hear some people talk about Scotland. I'm not really threatened by Scotland, but they're not to be taken lightly. Granted. The match that I fear the most in our group, in our pool, is the Irish game, because they have Sexton And this is the very same Irish team that took out the All Blacks last year during the incoming Test series. If Ireland, they do this thing where they just keep the ball alive and they keep doing these dummy passes, switch behind the back. That's how. And James Lowe, James Lowe is their ultimate talisman, and Jonathan Sexton. I'm not really threatened by any other player, but Sexton and James Lowe. The Springboks are going to have to change our defensive patterns because, when the Springboks defend, we use the same defensive pattern. Oh, we know Makazole Mapimpi is going to shoot out and try to, cut off the supply. All they had to do at that point is just swing it over the top and then there's an overlap. Jacques Nienaber, dear Springbok coaching staff, if you're watching this, please surprise your opponents. Cater a game plan towards each specific team. Because, previously you just okay, we're going to scope and yak, okay. Then, on defense, Makazole Mapimpi shoot out and then, yeah. How about coaching something different this time around? Look at the other team and then watch their attacking patterns, their offensive pattern, how they attack, and then figure out a way how you're going to nullify it. The Irish, they love keeping the ball alive. They like making those dummy passes, those skip passes, those set plays. Come on. Figure out a way during this time. I hope you've been working out a game plan to nullify that attack. Because I don't believe the Irish are strong on defense. So what does that mean? If we just dominate them with our forwards, maintain ball possession. Try to keep the ball, keep ball possession with our forwards, our dominant, strong, heavy forwards, and then let the backliners run. We have the Curly Ironses. They want to run. I don't wanna say too much. Put those chip and chases. Surprise your opponents. They already know how we're gonna play. Are we going to be dumb enough to play exactly how they're expecting us to play? Come on. First matchup is us, the Springboks, against the Scottish. I do believe that we have what it takes to win. However, again, can't take any of these Northern Hemisphere teams for granted. They've been hungry for the longest time. Let's relieve pressure from ourselves. Let's just win these two games. Let's just take the Scottish and the Irish out of the equation. Because Romania and who else? Tonga. Not to be taken lightly either, but we should have no problem, beating them. So yeah, man. On behalf of my University of Johannesburg, Varsity Cup, that's my Oranje and Black says to our green and gold, good luck, Bokke. That's all I have to say for now. Thank you for watching, and yeah, we should make it out. Make it out of the group stages unscathed, right? So yeah, all I'm just praying to see in this game match is just a different strategy of play. Let us not allow us winning at Twickenham against the All Blacks go to our heads. Let's not take any teams for granted. Let's just get Scotland and Ireland out of the equation quick. And then it's just these other teams left. Tonga. Yeah, people talk about Tonga as if now because they have the former All Blacks, Charles Piutau, Izo Folau, who else? Lima Sapwang. It's not a matter of the players. Yeah, they have those former All Blacks, but it's the coaching. So I'm not really threatened by them. Romania, I think this is going to be the first time, or if not the second time, us facing Romania, but we shouldn't have any problems with them neither. So yeah, I can't wait for the Scottish game. People talk so much about Scotland. Yeah, they've been on form. They're hungry. The Scottish are hungry. How do we win this? Let us not play how they expect us. Let us not take anything for granted. Let's just shut this game down. In the first 20 minutes, let's just set the tone. And then take it from there. Just seal the game from there. Right? Backline, I want to see more backline play. But anyway, that's all I have to say for now. Good luck, Bokke, and thanks for watching. Cheers.